like they must know the guy. Suspect names in the call.
She flutters by in tanks on the wind. She takes to the sky. No jar to contain her, no net to make her mine. She lays on my shoulder, if only for a tease. Then off to the wind, floating on the breeze. Forever in that moment, she'll be my butterfly. Guess there's some things just not meant to hold. I guess if I love her, let go. I guess if I love her, let go. Sense of this, there ain't no making sense of that. And I'm hoping it's just hoping when we don't know where we're at. Want you to run so far, yeah, and fly so free. I've never felt so stuck in between. At the end of the day, just want you to say that you stay. I guess there's some things.
Hey, backseaters, welcome back to a Friday night day where we didn't start as late as we usually do. It's only 9:23 here in the beautiful town of St. Paul, and it is 12 degrees. But the next 2 days, the temperature is dropping like a rock. I wonder why they say dropping like a rock. I suppose rocks fall faster than a lot of things. But it's going to be 10 below tomorrow night. And, well, the whole East Coast is getting hammered, of course, as well. So, I'm not even positive for transmitting. We should be transmitting, but sometimes you just never know.
461 Maryland, we're familiar, and we're in the area. And leave Q85 off, just 279.
I'm just going to keep Intel off, but text me if I need to know something.
That call is no longer rolled-in. It looks like they were able to resolve it. They were advised of the civil issues that they had.
No.
That's 2124. I got a notification. It was live on YouTube. I'm going there now, but there's nothing on Facebook right now.
All right, I got to figure that out. Thanks. Well, for those of you that are listening on YouTube, apparently there's a problem with Facebook. So we are going to have to research. Did you say it's there now?
I just got the notification that it's Facebook now. Yeah, you're good on Facebook.
Very good. Well, I think Andy Cassidy's second smartest man we got fixed it. He's in a tight race for the smartest man award this year, though. Smartest man for 2023. Race between Kyle Meestead and Andy Cassidy. Anyhow, as I was saying, backseaters, it is going to be really cold tomorrow. 10 below tomorrow night. It's 13 degrees right now. 80 wind chill out there. It's really, 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 really cold. And it's no fun being out in that cold. I got cold just walking to my car in the driveway, for crying out loud. I'm thinking these that are out here. What the heck? We're going to bring the Rev on because tomorrow night we're going to have a group of people out there to help the homeless find shelter. And the Rev's team, as you know, they're always helping. The Rev's team is going to help them find shelter. Now, here's what we know. There are several shelters that the city and county have created. The Phelan Park boathouse there is a shelter. The Newell Park Recreation Center is a shelter. It looks like Union Gospel is providing emergency shelter space. And then there also is a church.
Earlier today, I see the cops are requesting medical.
Pull that up here a minute here.
I'm not sure. I was waiting for the TC to update and I can inquire more urgently.
So these warming houses open up at 9 o'clock. The church is at Central Baptist Church on Roy. So just for clarity, the Newell Park building at 900 Fairview is for women only. The Phelan Activity Center on Phelan Drive there by Lake Phelan is for men only. Union Gospel Mission is for men only. And then families and youth can go to the Central Baptist Church at 420 North Roy, just near University in Snelling. That's at 9 o'clock those open, and then they're open until 7 in the morning. A problem is that there aren't a lot of places for people to go in the morning at 7. Most of them try to make their way down to the Catholic Charities Opportunity Center for breakfast. I'm not sure what time breakfast is going to start down there. In the pivot ahead a little bit, but they might end up being out in the cold for 2 hours. And you might have seen Channel 5 did a special on the new day shelter called the Listening House. Took over the Savoy Pizza, and that's right at 7th and Lafayette. We're going to drive right by it. The good news is from noon to 8, people can stay warm. Stay warm.
There were claims about that earlier today.
In the Listening House there. Used to be at the fire station on 7th, but this is a better location. It's all remodeled. The old Savoy Pizza. So that's open from noon to 8. Shelters are open from 9 to 7. So, you know, and of course there's the regular Catholic Charities shelter that takes people that have reservations, and also the safe space that takes people with reservations. But a lot of people don't have reservations, come at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and they're looking for a place to go. So Rev Spence and his group will be out there tomorrow giving them rides to safe shelter space.
Copy 10. Thank you.
And they're gonna come in about 8 make sure they can get people rides by 9 o'clock when they open, because it's going to be 10 below tomorrow, maybe 30 below wind chill. Can you imagine that? Those of you that are from down south, 30 below wind chill. So, not a good forecast for the next 3 days.
Like having medicals update will advise more phone.
But one thing the Rev, we're going to call the Rev here in a minute, one thing the Rev said he needs is gloves. Top priority gloves, because you backseaters have brought in tons of coats, hats and stuff. But I talked to him tonight. He said they can take a few more hats too, but gloves are the top priority. So tomorrow at 6 o'clock at our law enforcement center, the Rev is going to be there right at 425 Grove. Somebody post this on the backseater page. Between 6 and 8 to pick up gloves. And then at 8 o'clock, the Rev and his team are going to go out and look for homeless that need a ride. Obviously, I have a little cough, as you can tell. That's why Pat's not in the car with me tonight. That's why the Rev's not in the car with me tonight either. I didn't want to take a chance that they're going to... It's like a dry cough. Very miserable.
Can you change this to a domestic, please?
I don't really feel too sick, but you just never know. So this building right here on the right, this is the old Savoy Pizza. Right here at Lafayette and 7th. So this is a new listing house of St. Paul. And of course there are, I would say there's 10 people in the lobby there, in the entryway, that have, the listing house has been closed now. So they locked up the inner door, but there's 10 people in the door trying to figure out where to go. Some of them will jump on buses. Some of them will walk to the safe space. But tomorrow night, the numbers are going to be even higher because it's going to be 20 degrees colder. So we'll be out here with transportation available. And ironically, here's our building right here. If we have to, I mean, if it becomes a critical need tomorrow night, we will open up our lobby. Now, it's better if we can use the existing facilities, but it depends how many people are out there.
Call. We're going to restart the computer.
Worst case scenario, we'll open up our lobby and let them get some floor mats and let them sleep here. But tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, gloves and hats. Gloves and hats. We're not going to stop you from bringing something else warm, but the Rev says that's the top priority. So 425 Grove, let's call the Rev. And let's see what the Rev... Somebody threw...
I can't get the answer to that on iPhone.
Oh. Well, there we have it. Call Reverend Spence.
Audible, no audio visual, covers overhead door, search button back.
I want to make sure that... Make sure we can get him on speaker too.
6 minutes, I can let you know.
Someday I'm going to invest in a class to learn how all this works.
Hello.
Hello, the Rev. How's it going?
It's going great. You stay out that cold air, I tell you that.
The cold air is easier to breathe. Didn't you know that? It's easier to breathe.
No.
In fact, I learned this when our little Bob had croup when we were down south. They took him to the hospital because he couldn't breathe, and the doctor said when you have croup or any congestion, cold air is easier to inhale because your throat has inflamed with the cold air. So what he said is put him by an air conditioner or take him outside if it's colder. But in either way, I learned my lesson there is that we took him to the hospital, but doctor said cold air is a lot easier to breathe. So right now I'm opening my window, Rev. In fact, I'm opening both windows there. You can hear them. Oh, I can breathe that beautiful fresh air.
Did he say that same cold air is going to make your cold worse?
No, I don't know. He said cold. I mean, it's just like cold air has unique properties. You know, it's easier to fly in cold air.
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay. Well,
yeah, but I don't want you to be sick.
Well, I'm not going to get get sick. You know that, right?
Okay. Perfect.
I'm not going to get sick. But no, the cold air. I mean, when you got an 80-degree car and 12-degree outside, it's not that bad. So
Okay.
tell the backseaters what you need for stuff tomorrow.
Hey, first of all, I want to start by saying thank you. We have been, as I expected, we've been swamped this week because everyone's looking forward to the cold weather that came. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I will be at the LEC right there where Bob just left.
PM.
6 o'clock PM. And we will collect. Number one, we need gloves. We do have those nice little knitted things that they make a good insert, but they don't make a good glove. We need good gloves. We got a few of them in yesterday, and before we could open well at 12 o'clock, half of those were gone.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you that the homeless, the unsheltered, they know where we're at now. They're showing up. They're saying, can I get this? So we're, John Scheller, Andre Robinson, myself, and this week we had an intern. Don't ask me his name. I keep forgetting it. Nate. And we've been working every day to try and get things to those who need it. Right now, our desperate need is gloves. If we can get some someone bought a bag of them yesterday. I don't know where she got them from. I think she told me, but I can't remember. But they were very inexpensive, but very nice, heavy gloves. We need gloves. We have passed out boots, socks to these people, and it is amazing when they come back through and have on what you just gave them, and they're smiling. We will be there for 2 hours because tomorrow we need to go out and get those 10 people who are standing in front of the listening house and get them to somewhere where they can be warm.
Yep.
We that's our desire tomorrow, is get them to where they can be warm.
And just in case people didn't believe me, I'm just showing you the entrance here. They're standing in the doorway. People in there waiting to find a place to go. You know, they're just in the hallway there. It's a very sad situation.
Yeah, I thought you were about to tell me to come get them and take them to the shelter.
The shelters do have some vans to pick up, so hopefully they'll get active. But I mean, it's 12 degrees today. It'll be 10 below tomorrow. It's going to be brutal.
Right. We will be ready. We'll be out tomorrow. The team is ready. Everyone's getting our winter gear together so that we can go out and get them to come with us. It's amazing that the colder it gets, the more people don't want to. They think someone's going to steal their belongings. We have to. It's amazing that talk to people. The colder it gets, you imagine someone coming and taking you from the place you call home.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of hand warmers. We're going to be passing those out tomorrow to those who don't want to go in the shelter with us. But we're going to do our best to get everybody to come and go with us. I was just contacted by the young lady who brought the gloves yesterday. She said she got them at Burlington Coat Factory. They were very nice, and the price tag looked nice too. We appreciate all the backseaters are gone. We just we're happy that we're in a position to help. So we will be out. It's going to be cold for the next few days here. So keep us in your prayers, and we will continue to do the work that we have promised Bob Fletcher we're going to do.
Hey, obviously you've been doing amazing work. I have a question though. Is it public knowledge? Is it public knowledge about the award you're getting on Monday?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay. Well, we gotta tout your horn a little bit here, because the one living legend we already have is Patrick Scott, of course, and everybody has their uniqueness for being a legend. But on Monday morning, Rev. Spence is getting an award at the Martin Luther King breakfast at Progressive Baptist Church for being a living legend for his work in the community. And that is so cool, Rev. So well deserved. So excited for you to be recognized for all the work that you've done. Because lots of times people don't get recognized. I'm very thankful that people realize how much work you've done. So congratulations, living legend.
Thank you, sir. I'm overwhelmed. It's something you never expect. I guess I'm happy.
Well, usually you don't get the award till you're dead. So you know.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say it.
Yeah. Well, you outlasted them, so they decided to give it to you while you're living, right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, well deserved. I mean, you're doing so much great work.
Yeah, they call it motor vehicle theft at,
not just in the black community, in the whole community. You're just making a big difference. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Drop off any gloves or anything else you got. Gloves are a top priority. At 8 o'clock, when the listing house closes, Rev and his troops will be giving people shelters. And maybe while they're giving them a ride, they'll be handing out some gloves, right?
Yes, we will.
And then
if you see me, I got hats and socks in my car now.
We don't know what's going to happen Sunday night. It's supposed to be really cold then too, but we'll see. After tomorrow, we'll have a better assessment of what the need is out there to get other places.
Yep, we're on standby.
Yeah. All right, Rev, thanks. Anything else you want to throw out?
Nope, I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Very good, Rev. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
The living legend, Rev Daryl Spence.
The firm should be arriving in a Chevy Silverado or possibly a Jeep gray in color.
See what calls we got going on.
Perfect. The garage is wide open, but the fence here is about 10 feet high and it's all locked up, so nobody can get in. So I'll have to come in and close it.
Copy.
So it sounds like a.
You can clear me report from this welfare check. Can you send me that animal complaint? We'll assist county.
So we have Pat, Nicole, and Mike out there tonight.
And
at some point, I'm just going to check the 4 up here and make sure it's. Because I have a little cough, I'm not going to stay talking too much tonight, but
it's a.
There we go. Because I have a little cough, I'm not going to. Well, there you have it. Stayed. Looks like the stream is working pretty good. I'm going to send you over to Under Sheriff Mike Martin here in a minute. And as I do, if you wouldn't mind, sharing this with others.
4423 traffic.
Copy. Yeah, further updates saying it sounds like the email's going through withdrawals.
The white bear on TE zone 694 with Kilo Uniform Delta 646.
Maybe I should go get some hot soup at the M&H, huh?
Happy right bear to get on. 692-384. Do you need any traffic blocked off, or are you good over there? Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you. Copy 690, I'll assist.
At 690, he's a parking enforcement officer for St. Paul. He's really one of the, he's one of the finest parking enforcement officers I've ever seen. He finds stolens. He's always jumping in to volunteer to help. He's just really a great young man. Just a 20-year-old kid that's working to be a law enforcement officer.
We're
really appreciate him at the sheriff's office. Well, I'll be taking a little Robitussin here in a minute after I send you over to Mike. I don't really feel bad. I just got that dang cough. A little bit of congestion. It's more like a dry cough, though. So, no fever.
690 if you could block traffic.
All right, sending you over to Mike.
Westbound traffic for the eastbound,
One
westbound
minute.
traffic.
I'll see you again here before the end of the night.
I'll be blocking off Phelan and we'll block traffic.
All right, sending you over to Mike.
Westbound traffic for the eastbound, westbound traffic.
I'll see you again here before the end of the night.
I'll be blocking off Phelan.
All right, backseaters, you are now switched over into the back of my Tahoe. This is Under Sheriff Mike Martin. For those of you who may have just tuned in, you're at Ramsey County in Minnesota in the city of St. Paul, and we are out patrolling in St. Paul. It snowed lightly this afternoon, and it's 14 degrees right now, so it's a little chilly. The sheriff just got off the phone with Reverend Spence, but what the sheriff may not have known, because I think if he did, he would have talked about it, was that this afternoon, when it was snowing really hard, a truck went off of the interstate highway and rolled onto its side, and Rev Spence was the first one to see it and report it, and he got on the radio and went and gave the location out to the dispatcher and went and checked to make sure the driver was okay, and waited till state patrol got there.
690, I'm on you already blocking traffic here. I'm both far.
And anyway, I heard his voice on the radio, but had never heard his call number before. But I was amazed. He had no problem getting on the radio, calling out the location, and doing what he can, which is why he's a living legend, not only in St. Paul, but in the metro area here in the state of Minnesota. And I'm very happy to be able to attend the breakfast with him on Monday morning and watch him receive his award. Sorry about that. You're going to hear that scraping.
Just go south on Wayne Place in Maryland.
Wipers. Every once in a while you're going to hear my scraping wipers just to keep the blowing snow off of the windshield so that it doesn't go autofocus, out of control. But we are on University Avenue going westbound. There hasn't been a lot of our normal crime for a Friday evening and night because of the weather, but there have been a lot of accidents. We are looking for a blue Ford Explorer that was taken in a carjacking incident. It was reported to be a carjacking with a known suspect, so we are looking for that car. And we will see. Generally, when it's snowing hard and things are bad, the radio will quiet down a little bit, and then when it stops, like it is now, things may pick up a little bit. we are scanning
Number
and
279 was on channel 1, or code 4, and
monitoring a number of radio channels right now. So if something kicks off anywhere in the metro area or something serious statewide, we will hear it, and I will shut up and let you listen to the radio if that happens, and maybe give a little bit of narrative for context, but busy earlier today. There was a lot going on, and but now it's kind of slowed down. And the one thing about these snow-packed and icy roads is it sure weans out the drunk drivers and the bad drivers, and makes it a little easier to spot them when they're sliding all over. This car in front of us has one of the tail lights is either broken, or brake lights is either broken out, or it's not wired properly, and it's showing a white light to the rear, which is illegal in the state of Minnesota. But he or she looks like they're driving pretty well, and that's just a minor equipment violation. So I'm not gonna pull them over unless they're doing something crazy. We're northbound on a Western here in Frogtown, actually going into the north end here. Crossing Topping. Like that car was in an accident, and the tail light was broken, but it looks pretty fresh. Or the brake light lens was broken. We're gonna go eastbound now on Front. Pull over here in the air truck. See, I'm gonna go over and look and see if I can see what they might be going to here. Can't really see anything obvious, but unless there's some need for police, we generally don't see the fire calls. I can set it up so that I do see them, but as it is, we have enough to monitor. I know some of you were riding with me on Monday when went and saw the turkey that was blocking traffic on 7th Street. And she has become quite a celebrity there on 7th Street. And as far as I know, she's still there. But this time of year when it gets cold and it starts snowing, a lot of the wildlife has to move or find somewhere to go, and or work harder to find places where they can lay down or eat. And so we start to see a lot of wildlife interacting in the communities. I know I saw a dead fox today on 35W, and I know the coyotes where I live have become more active this time of the year when they're mating. So there have been notices put out to the community to not leave your little dogs out on a leash for the coyotes to get them. We're northbound on Rice Street here, approaching Maryland, and looks like traffic is picking up just a little bit, so that's good. As the sheriff said earlier, if you haven't done so already, share this feed with your friends. Subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, I've had a couple people say to me that there is like a bingo board and some commentary that takes over the screen. If that happens when you're on YouTube, you're on the wrong link. That is some people that are detractors of the sheriff's office who've taken over the feed. So block that feed and go back to Live on Patrol Ramsey County. You will see the link when we are live, and go to that one because you have a bad link and you're on a page that's basically hijacked our live stream.
We'll check the address. Location 5974.
It's busier over on the east side. Actually, maybe we'll drop down.
Donnie on credit card, Donnie.
On Jackson here.
Tommy or Donnie?
Don Rindle.
1 call. You still got the chip reader at 5 South? I believe there's one here. Okay. I'm en route. This wasn't Roseville's.
So these two gentlemen, 2 deputies, are talking about getting a chip reader. That's the reader that allows us to read the microchips that are implanted in dogs and cats, so that if you find them, it'll tell you where the owner is, who the owner is, and how to get a hold of them. It usually has a phone number in it and or an address, which is extremely helpful. And if we don't get interrupted here for a minute, I'll tell you an interesting story of how we solved a homicide using that chip reader. And when I say we, I mean the sheriff's office, not me specifically, although I was there. A deputy. One of our patrol deputies got a call of a loose dog that was just laying down in someone's yard in the suburb of Vadnais Heights, which is one of our contract cities. And he responded and was able to use the chip reader to see that the dog belonged to someone in Tennessee, in a city in Tennessee. He called the number on there and got the mother of the dog's owner, and she said that her son was staying with a friend in Vadnais Heights, and the address was a few houses away from where the dog was found. So the deputy went there to locate the owner of the dog, and when the deputy got there, he saw someone in the garage, and he walked in, and to leave out some of the gory details, the owner of the home had killed the owner of the dog and was trying to load his body into the back of SUV that was in the garage. And we were able to apprehend the suspect and solve the crime. It was one of the more unusual situations I've ever been involved in as a police officer or sheriff's deputy, and was very much an unbelievable deal. The suspect was confined to a wheelchair because of amputations of his legs that he had, and he was booked into the jail. He was able to bond out pending the murder trial, and subsequently committed suicide. So, of course, the case was exceptionally closed at that point.
Over giving a courtesy ride to 1525 Magnolia with one adult male.
So we are driving eastbound again on Maryland here, and headed over to the east side of St. Paul to see if maybe there's a little more cracking over there.
382.
Okay.
690 you can clear from blocking traffic. There's enough room for vehicles to pass. 690 cut. 446 up.
21.
Looks like there's a stalled out semi-tractor trailer here that's being towed, hooked up to a tow truck.
94 at Central. John Mary Edward 136.
I don't know if they're having trouble getting around the corner or if they're just trying to straighten out and come this way. Tell you, it's been another productive week for the CAT team and our intel folks. They've been chasing, well, I say chasing, but I mean tracking and finding and locating and sometimes chasing stolen cars all over that have some nexus to Ramsey County. They're either stolen here and taken elsewhere or stolen elsewhere and brought here, involving our young car thieves, and just can't say enough about what they do. Our
4040 on traffic.
criminal investigation unit's been doing a great job of investigating a lot of cases lately, including some credit card fraud cases and EBT fraud cases that are.
Can you mute, please? Do you want to go Walgreens?
Will do. Sorry about that. I had to mute really quick, and because of something that we're working on, that some of our folks are working on, and they had to talk about it on a channel that I was monitoring, so I had to go on and take that off. Ouch. There's my scraping windshield wipers. I appreciate you sticking with us, because a lot of times what we're hoping is that the stuff we're talking about when we're muted, you may get to see once it starts going live, or if we're looking for somebody, when we start tracking that person, we'll probably go live, or a vehicle when we find the vehicle. probably go live and not be muted, but we can't let the bad guys know where we are or what we're working on. I mean, they know where the ones of us who are live are, but they don't know everything that's going on at the time. So that's the beauty of it. So we do have a good crew out here tonight. I think I was having trouble at first here in the sheriff, but I think that he told you that obviously he's out here but has a pretty bad cough. I'm out here, and no, I'm not sick. I always sound this way. He had the Reverend Spence on by phone. Deputy Pat Scott's out and about. Nicole Sparks is out and about. I think Darren's out and about. I saw his car earlier. And we have others that are out working. So if there's trouble going on, we will root it out, and you'll get to see it. If there's something going on, metro or statewide on one of those cross-patched channels, I will turn that on and let you listen to it and try to let you know where it's happening. We're going to go south here on Hazelwood from Maryland. It's kind of a busy area that we often end up finding some of our cars. So we like to do some proactive patrol through here. If anyone remembers 2 years ago, I think it wasn't last winter, but the winter before was when we were chasing a car back in here. It was a black Jeep Cherokee, and I almost T-boned Nicole Sparks right down the street here, and we almost wrecked our two cars at an intersection. Thank goodness we use due caution when we're approaching intersections, and we both saw each other at the same time, and she took a evasive maneuver and so did I, if that's what you call running off the road into a snowbank.
Bravo 418 DOT.
Yeah, we have your name. 2213. What, 263 and 57?
As you can see, the roads are snow-packed. It probably snowed maybe an inch and a half. Or maybe 2 inches, I don't know, and then it blew, and then cars going over it pack it down and turn it into some pretty slippery roads.
Where are you calling?
Negative.
Have that. 6 rings.
We're kind of cutting over here, and we're going to go up north on Flandreau. Back towards Maryland. This past spring, this area was kind of a busy one for stolen cars and stolen cars being dumped, but it's really quieted down, so that's a positive.
Bravo 234 EOT.
So we're south on White Bear Avenue from Maryland. Listening to
Bravo
the
244 EOT.
radio.
Have a good night. 96.
Waiting for something to kick off or a traffic
Bravo
stop that
231 EOT.
needs to be
Have a good
done.
night. 2017. Bravo 715 EOT. Have a good night. 2217.
You can see some of these trucks have snow plows on them. For those of you who aren't from around here, a lot of times the snow plow services will go out and start working before the snow's actually done, so that they can get ahead of the game. And a lot of times they work all night long, so that
I want to know what part. Starting mileage is going to be 10.1.
when business is open in the morning, they will,
Yeah, man, 20.
the lots will be plowed and
279
the entrances will be plowed, and
Copy, going to Ford. Bravo 260.
right now it's kind of hard to tell how
Have a good night.
much of this is light snow still falling and how much is blowing snow, but it looks like there is still a little bit of light snow falling. It has not been very cold until today. It started really a little cooler, and it's supposed to get really cold the next few days, and which is, as you heard, bad news for people that are unsheltered or live outside, but it's good news for ice fisher men and women who need it to be cold to freeze those lakes so they can get out there and ice fish.
Kilo Golf Fun Light.
South on White Bear now, approaching Old Hudson. I'm going to go down into kind of the commercial area south of I-94. Check on where the fast food restaurants are and some of the busier areas. There are a couple cars that we are still looking for. It would be nice to see one of them. When people steal cars or when they're wanted.
For domestic 927 Sherburne Avenue, Unit 1. 2 callers. First just gave a name of Isaac Jackson, black male, 40s, wearing a Minnesota Gophers sweatshirt. And a second caller is that male who said he was kneed in the jaw, and they requested medics.
When people have a stolen car, they're wanted. There's a few places they still always go. If you know where they live, obviously they go home at some point, or they go to their parents', their mom's house. But they have to eat. They have to get gas. A lot of them go to the tobacco stores or the liquor stores. So we kind of keep an eye on some of those places where we think we might run into some of our folks. This McDonald's down here was the beginning of one of our longer chases we ever had with the CAT team during a street racing detail. We had a Dodge Charger Hellcat that had been lost in a pursuit, and then the State Patrol helicopter saw it going into that McDonald's drive-thru, and then we went in there. We could not get enough squads in place to block it in, but we were able to stop it as it left, but then it took off after it initially stopped, and it went way south down into Dakota County and then across and back up north into Hennepin County and into Minneapolis, and eventually the helicopter saw the driver get out and run and hide behind a garbage dumpster, and we were able to get him in custody and arrest him. That was his second or third time in a chase with us, and his car was seized, was forfeited because of that. Street right now. We're going to turn on to Wilson and just make a quick loop through
a vehicle working westbound Concord.
A parking lot that we often recover stolen cars in.
Out. Yeah, 2224. If you could have one of the cops come outside and talk to us.
So I think the Wild won their hockey game earlier tonight, or at least they were close to winning. I didn't hear the very end of it, but that's a good pivot for them because they've been struggling.
5182.
Call 91 Rose Place. We're suspicious. Turned away an hour. Male came to the caller's address, was looking around the house on the outside. No longer on the scene. Just requested to talk to officers.
This one is
24.
2172.
Go ahead.
Taking one to puppy jail in Woodbury.
Copy, 2225.
4481, show me out with 23. I'll unlock them.
Negative, I don't believe we have either caller still on the phone. So TC was going to try to call back the first caller.
I'll go go ahead and some of that traffic for you.
So I'm gonna come back out here to Ruth. I'm gonna head north here and then
Automatic
see.
rear down to region.
Copy the regions at 2626.
What we got going. You can hear my brakes still have that squealing in there.
Copy, nails in the door. Close right home.
I took it into the county garage the other day and they looked at it and
I apologize for this, but
didn't know why it was
the,
squealing.
both callers, are they from the same?
Okay.
We get a call back and find out which entryway. The front entryway is clear.
Copy, we'll call back. Thank you. For DOC, Color's brother took drugs and was being violent, destroying the house, requesting medics, so they're being started as well.
So the wild lost. It sounds like my son texted me that I was wrong. They gave up a goal with an empty net, and then we're in OT, and they must have lost in OT. I don't know why my phone didn't go off. That's why you have kids to correct you when you're wrong. So, or to text you and tell you you're still on mute. So,
182, they're assisted.
we're still on the east side of St. Paul.
182, 123, you guys.
The
Wrong in front, just keep on the back, jump. Jump up here.
We're in the neighborhood that gold medalist Suni Lee grew up in with her family. Olympic gold medalist and
Big picture windows
just a great young lady.
after the main entrance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Her family has a special relationship with Sheriff Fletcher and I had the honor of being kind of her security / bodyguard when she flew back from the Olympics to the airport, and it was a crazy crowd of young girls that, for the most part, that were admirers. And then there was a parade to honor Suni, and was able to work that as well. So, but she was very gracious.
Before we clear advisor fees, I can take that for a day.
We're at Minnehaha by the Cherry Pit and headed northbound.
22 to the secondary location. And a mileage is going to be 14.1.
22.
looking at the pending calls, and
looks like medics updated the patient called back, stated he was at the Speedway gas station in all black clothing.
here, and there's not a lot of there's calls pending, mostly in other parts of the county, but they are, or I'm sorry, calls assigned, some disorderly conduct calls and a domestic call.
Check your coffee, Jason.
A theft call at Walmart, which is not unusual. So I'm wondering who everyone's rooting for in the NFL playoffs. I was telling people I'm not a huge Vikings fan. I will root for them because this is where I live, but I'm a fan of really good football, and they haven't been playing really good football lately, but it'll be fun to see who all advances.
Go ahead. Are you guys with the patient?
If the patient is Isaac,
you have a lot of relatives in Kansas, so who are big Kansas City Chiefs fans.
173.
So I know they play the Dolphins tomorrow night, so that'll be fun to see. I don't know, I heard there was some controversy over the fact that it's all, the playoff games are on the Peacock, I think it's Peacock Network, and which a lot of people don't have, and so we'll see if that's the future. But I think the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, gets a lot of tax breaks, and I think there'll be some pressure on to make them be on a broadcast network, but you never know. Just looked over quickly and saw that I was admonished for not mentioning Taylor Swift. Poor Travis Kelce has to be like the second fiddle in that relationship, but he's a great tight end. It's fun to watch him and his brother Jason on their show that they do, and watch them interact with each other, and the love that they have for each other and for each other's families. It's a lot of fun.
4446, looks like that suspect male just crossed south from the address, head towards Buffalo Wild Wings.
Shoot.
Happy suspect just crossed south on towards the, from the address headed towards Buffalo Wild Wings. I can think that.
We're back on Maryland Avenue. I hate to keep bringing you the same places, but it is a main thoroughfare to get from one area to the other, and hopefully we can find some action or do it here.
Others, and he had an open line. Yelling.
Hopefully the sheriff's starting to feel a little better. Boy, his cough did not sound good. I have the volume turned down.
4446. Yeah, male. On 130.
Sorry, I'm talking to my phone and it's not typing right now, so
4041.
like I said, other members of the CAT team are working
That's
on
anything, John. No crime.
other
Show me
things and trying to stir the soup, stir the pot. And
Fortunately, I got you clear.
so they were just asking me if my volume's down enough or do I need to mute. So I have the volume down enough so that I can hear and respond in a timely fashion, but that way I don't have to mute you.
25 copy.
I should give a quick shout out to a few people, to Rachel and Emily at Tom Reed's that were nice enough to they're our two of our favorite servers there, but also nice enough to tell us that they watch live on patrol. Thank you for watching. I think Emily's a relatively new backseater, so thanks for joining us.
Cold exposure. They're code 4. They're just requesting police to assist with male. Or correctly, a female.
279 copy. 263 copy.
Yeah, 263 can be quick.
Copy, thank you.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Steve Woodard. Thanks from Portage, Wisconsin. Thanks for being a backseater, but also for your work with the Law Enforcement Torch Run and being an athlete representative there. So, great organization.
5178, copy the 911 AM, Channel 2. There's a Central Squad to assist us in Montreal high rise. Call came in within 14 meters, down to fighting and arguing in a struggle for the line disconnected.
So we're going to go a little bit longer here, and then we're going to, in about 10 minutes, switch over to Deputy Pat Scott, now that he's had a chance to break away from what he was working on. I'm telling you, don't tell him I said this, because I don't want him to know how I feel, but that dude works hard. He was here. I heard him all day working his booty off, tracking stolen cars over into Minneapolis and doing that stuff. And he's back out tonight. He's a great asset for us here at the sheriff's office, but don't tell him I said that. Let's keep it as a secret between us, because I don't want his head to get too big. Then he'll want his own like armored car for patrolling, or a Maserati or something. So, and we can't afford that. We're on Payne Avenue, going south from Minnehaha. We're just passing the east team station, Payne.
316 again, sorry for your disturbance.
Hope it.
Back 1371 number 210. Neighbors are being loud, making noises above the college apartment.
Reference Tower Low 7.
Sorry, go again.
616, I can go with 316.
I think it's funny whenever you hear the canines barking in the back of an officer's transmission, because I think the canines are riding around in there, they're half asleep, and then all of a sudden their handler gets on the radio, so now they're getting excited, so they start barking, and you can't hear the officer, but I think it's pretty funny. We are lucky to have great canines, and obviously we have them in Ramsey County. That was a St. Paul canine that you just heard there, and they're a great asset for keeping officers safe and apprehending suspects and locating suspects and articles like guns and narcotics, and also for locating lost people. I always kind of envisioned when I became a cop that most of the lost people would be little kids that wander away, but the reality is oftentimes it's older people who are suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, and they wander away from their homes or from a business where they are with loved ones. And the problem is, if you look at a night like tonight, we have to locate them quickly before they suffer from frostbite or, hypothermia. So canines are one of the great tools that we can use. Drones, another great tool. The State Patrol helicopter, if it's available, usually is, but on a night like tonight with the snow, I don't think it's safe. Excuse me, I don't think it's safe for them to fly in this kind of snow.
23.
So,
You know if the car's parked or is it
there's a guy on a bike. That's gotta be cold. Shout out to my friends that just texted me a picture from the lake. Stay warm. I don't know, this guy on the bicycle's hesitating here. I don't think he trusts me not to run him over.
23. The color did not specify.
So we're back on University. We're driving behind the LEC, which is our law enforcement center and the jail, and as well as our emergency communications center. We do not run the communications center. It's a joint effort between St. Paul and Ramsey County,
for a noise complaint of very loud music,
as well as the St. Paul Police Headquarters. So it's kind of handy that we're all housed real close to each other.
Eastbound on March 11th.
I'm with the mail. We're heading down the block here.
Copy.
is there a Spanish speaker come here? It's gonna be a DKD.
I thought it was gonna be a DKD. Can you go again with first?
We get a Spanish interpreter here.
So, thank you for staying with me here.
Anyway,
And we're at the state capitol.
Checking channel 2 and 3 for Spanish speaker.
You will be going over to Deputy Pat Scott. And again, remember, don't tell him that I complimented him.
Good.
I copy the header.
Go ahead, I'm not on my computer.
Looks like the registered owner of that vehicle has a...
Well, welcome back, Cedars, to
for failure to appear.
a chilly 12-degree Friday night here in the saintly city of St. Paul in Ramsey County, Minnesota. St. Paul being the capital city of the beautiful state of Minnesota. Looks like we are going to be dodging the proverbial bullet on this snowstorm. It seems to have moved south and east of us rather than hitting us directly. So we only got really pretty much just a dusting of snow. An inch, maybe two.
It's going 225, there's OGOA 226.
I'm eastbound on Maryland, about to turn south on Arcade.
207, you got one pulling up behind you there.
Those of you who've been backseaters for a while are going to recognize what I'm about to show, but it is just so awesome that I have to come by here periodically and show it off. This is at the American Legion Post at Arcade and Geranium on St. Paul's east side. And they have an amazing mural all along the north side of the building, honoring our armed forces members. We'll drive real slow through it, but that is just, I find it to be breathtaking. Very, very cool.
Can you start a tow for the passenger car, starting with Kansas City, David? So far, Twin Cities is right. 22
I have gotten just a little reminder that when you want a shout out done, I get so many messages through Messenger that sometimes you're going to get lost in the shuffle. Sometimes I'm not going to see it. The way to get a shout out is to, prior to Friday, send a message to the Live on Patrol Facebook page, to the messenger of Live on Patrol. And we got some amazing people that put together a list for us, and you're going to be sure to get almost sure to get a shout out. Occasionally it's just too busy to get to them, but that is the absolute best way to get a shout out. And with that said, I'm going to give a couple right now. If I haven't gotten it by now, I'm not going to be able to do any more shout outs beyond the ones that I have. And one being Devin Summers, who has been a backseater from the beginning. Devin, hope you recover fast. Devin is in the hospital with RSV. So hope the treatment is efficient and fast and you get back on your feet soon. And then here's a good one. This is longtime backseater Elsie Taylor. Just discovered that I'm good friends with her cousin Brian Larson.
I'll be transporting one adult male.
Might as well give Brian Larson a shout out too.
65th Street.
But Elsie's daughter-in-law Emily Eidsness is celebrating her 31st birthday. So happy birthday to you, Emily. From us and from Elsie.
280. I've had that call at Riverside there. I don't think
Jenny Russell Murray wanted us to give a shout out to
any more info on him?
Her brother-in-law, Chris Byrne, Sergeant with St. Paul Police Department. Burnsy. Also a very good friend of mine. We worked together for many years. He's gonna he retired December 26th after 30 years with St. Paul PD. And they're gonna celebrate this weekend his retirement. So Burnsy, I miss seeing your face. You're one of the best cops I ever worked with. You and Ferroni were legendary on the east side.
674. Copy, 2 toes, 2253.
A lot of ridges from the plowing there in that lot.
Copy, 2253.
Well, I will give one more late one. Red Phoenix and his wife's grandson was born Saturday, January 6th. Congratulations, Grandpa and Grandma.
We have an unoperative caller, Jericho caller.
We're westbound here on Minnehaha, coming up on Payne Avenue. I am monitoring multiple radio channels, and there is just not a whole lot going on.
The back lot of this building secure. Is there any way security can open the gate for us?
I can have the TC call back and ask.
Thank you.
Not a whole lot of traffic out tonight.
283.
Sure, disregard, I see the note.
I think I just passed a zebra crash on the right shoulder.
And I've noticed tonight in my driving around something that is worth mentioning. It is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I'm in a very, very effective and efficient all-wheel drive vehicle with this Dodge Durango. But man, have I been tailgated a lot tonight. A four-wheel, and mostly by four-wheel drive vehicles.
Go ahead.
Now, four-wheel drive vehicle, they're great for
Transporting
traction.
one adult female to the LEC, starting mileage
On
100
snow and ice.
218.
But you don't stop one damn bit better in a four-wheel drive than you do in a rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive car. So slow down and stay back a ways so you don't have a crash that will be your fault. If you rear-end somebody, it's your fault. That's bottom line.
I see the suspect. He's in the northeast corner of the lot.
Please be careful.
Inside of it.
Okay, suspect on the side of the lot on the northeast corner.
Okay, and
We're attempting to enter to the lot to the southeast corner right now.
Have you attempting entry to the southeast corner?
I must have had my volume down too low. That's
421 Metro.
all I should have been paying attention
421.
to.
We're going to be taking the right for the big rig.
It's a break-in at
2257.
It's a break-in at a business, maybe just into the yard of the business down the street here.
It's over here somewhere. I see his footprints. Can't see where he went.
So they're following the suspect's footprints. He broke a window in a truck in the business lot, stealing items from the vehicle. Wearing a brown jacket with a hood up and black pants. It's down the street here at 955 Wells, right off of
Case number 2032. 2032.
right off of Phelan Drive.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
So we're going to go over there in case he gets past the squad cars that are on the perimeter here.
725.
This room with the homeowner, no one else is inside. They do have animals inside.
It looks like it's running 20 of the locations for the service road under Earl.
Suspect 1 eastbound 20.
Not Earl from York.
Northbound Earl from York calling at 10273.
Right eastbound. Just north of York. From Earl.
Eastbound north of York from Earl.
180. 180.
So the staying behind North Earl.
I got in the building, but I can't use the elevator.
Are you detaining him behind north of
So if the caller wants to meet me in the lobby, so they can escort me up and down.
Received. Also called Metro 5080 cars. So party reporting a intoxicated friend that they're behind, 3-year-old child in the vehicle. It's about 94 from Hiawatha currently.
Sounds like they have him behind a house, but they haven't.
If they're gonna follow, I can flip at.
Haven't said he's in custody yet.
Yeah, they'll meet you on check.
Metro. 255. What kind of cars and they're driving the way? 327 to be behind 904 Earl. 2009 Silver Prius.
Yeah, they have him in custody there. I'll try and zoom in for you a little bit.
Well, there's 3 of us sitting at Hiawatha, so the caller says they see us. We'll get behind it. Yeah, it'd be 2300. 361, there's multiple vehicles in here that broke window.
It appears he broke into a number of vehicles.
Multiple vehicles damaged on the lot. Probably gross miss or found on any CDP. 2300.
Metro lane's clear.
Nicely done.
This one name is fine. Copy.
The patient will be at 1361 Surrey.
So St. Paul PD
Copy,
did a
1361
great
Surrey.
job getting the location surrounded. And when he broke and ran, they got in a short foot pursuit and got him in custody.
Woodbury,
I
720.
apologize for not
Woodbury.
having
Yeah, Woodbury, no
had my
Copy, no check.
radio up loud enough to hear that.
361. 8196.
Golf place me. Golf X-ray Victor 119. Echo Lima, Echo 39.
King William Zebra 407.
Copy, 902. Copy, Silver Lake 39, 2302. 070 cars, information on attempt to locate, last seen eastbound 94 at 280. Described as a silver Prius. Plate given Henry Victor 696. Comes back to a 2009 Toyota Prius out of Minneapolis. Party said that the driver was drunk with children in the vehicle. Again, last seen eastbound 94 from 280. Cosmetics, 947 Lydia Drive.
I'll do a better job of keeping my radio up, folks.
One more plate. Hotel Golf Victor 184.
Copy 2302, number 902.
So please don't complain about the radios being too loud to hear me talk. It's more important to hear the calls, both for you and for me.
One 162, sending a warrant removal.
162, copy. 80. 2303.
Get some new shoes. Things are worn out.
Fletcher 50 cars. Start for a possible jumper. A man on the sign. Eastbound 394 at Penn Avenue. 255.
Was that you chasing him?
Yeah. Me and another St. Paul guy out.
Nice work, Sarge. So Sergeant Micheletti from the CAT team was a part of that foot chase of that suspect and helped catch him and get him taken into custody.
I'll be transporting one to this address.
Yeah, these streets are slick.
Oh, grab on, looks like they're around.
Spot 302.
Gotcha. Entering 60-70 cars information.
Please still hold me here.
All checked on by Ramsey County Squad. It's going to be in the apex from Edgerton to
She says you can cancel here. We got one in custody. Go for it.
Ford sedan.
Copy, clear in the area.
Given Edward David Edwards 941. How's a private towing route? They're code 4 and not a hazard. Information only 2305.
We are eastbound on 7th Street at Arcade.
Woodbury 720 ambulance should be there in about 1 minute.
Perfect, thank you. And for squad, Black House 30, don't let anyone else down here. But the female homeowner is coming home from work.
Now, one thing to know about all these radio channels that I'm monitoring, I've noticed that oftentimes people will hear what sounds like a pretty serious call and wonder, why isn't he going to that? Well, if I'm not going to it, well, in this case, I just didn't hear it. But
Go ahead.
in most cases, it's because it may be in another city, another county, at the end of the county.
It's going to be local, sounds like local.
In fact, on New Year's Eve, right as the ball dropped up at in White Bear Lake, where the sheriff and I were, there was a major incident that happened in St. Paul off of University Avenue. And I actually got some messages, kind of somewhat unfriendly, demanding to know why we hadn't gone to that. Well, we were 20 miles away. The streets were slick, and there were multiple St. Paul officers on scene. It would have been totally senseless and, quite honestly, ridiculous to have responded to that call. I see my friend Levon Pashuk is watching. I hope you saw us give the American Legion some props for its mural.
And we'll take a tow for a passenger vehicle for now.
You know what? We're going to keep going downtown. And we're going to check out the entertainment district on West 7th Street by the truck park and Burger Moe's and Tom Reed's. Little New Bohemia. I'm sorry.
They're pretty far down in the ditch. I started at TC. 23, wait. 371. 371. 23. I'll start for your missing person.
Really spot the back 2197 Bonnie Lane. On a missing person. Resident left for work at 1400. Hasn't returned. Business through brain injuries and has substance abuse. Ray Hughes, black male. Brown eyes, 5'9". Unknown clothing.
B23.
325. Thank you.
Up here on the left is the Dark Horse Bar and Restaurant, very popular spot here in Lower Town, part of St. Paul.
It's Riley.
And here on the right, the Bulldog Bar and Restaurant.
Walking here.
Very good food. Very good atmosphere. Very, very peaceful spot to come visit here in St. Paul.
I got a noise complaint. West squad to assist. 1958 Saunders. This is a black SUV across the
327 to 302. We're going to be on Earl and York.
Copy.
I'm going to look up that call I just heard. Just a noise complaint of an SUV in a residential neighborhood with the windows open playing loud music. Very inconsiderate thing to do, actually. You really don't have the right to play your music as loud as you want, wherever you want, whenever you want. That's not being a good neighbor, a good citizen, or honestly a good person.
I don't know if it's related. There's a call earlier in Roseville, 1721, Alta Vista. We'll call it again. They lost 2 months.
Driving by our training facility down here, inside the Press House Apartments, where Reverend Spence and the other ambassadors do a lot of their good works out of.
N6080 car for 1. Westbound 694 Victoria.
Imagine this was an Uber picking somebody up. Some gift cards with me, but I guess I don't. Darn it. Intercontinental Hotel here on the right, formerly the Radisson.
23.
That on the top, it's no longer open for business, but for years they had a restaurant on the very top floor, and it was circular, and the entire restaurant and bar
375. Can you go to 4?
would rotate 360 degrees. I don't recall how long the rotation took, but you got a 360 degree view of the Twin Cities. You can even see the Minneapolis skyline from up there.
Southbound 35E, right at County Road 11 for that semi that was originally on fire.
There's a call.
2314.
When we get over by the truck park, if I can find a place to pull to the curb, I'm gonna give a couple more of the shout outs that I have.
SUV in the exact same location. Are we sure it's not the same one?
It might be. My partner noticed that as well. This caller just now, though, described it as a white truck. My partner's trying to call the state to try to clarify.
On the left here, right at the top of this hill, is formerly the Eagle Street Grill, which has changed hands, and I'm not sure the name of the bar restaurant that's going in there.
303. Can I either have a partner to clear the tow or start medics my way? Driver is complaining about chest, ribs, pain.
482 and route from Dunwoody.
A little bit of shouting going on over there.
2360. Stock Exchange. 685 Metro, show me today with this transport.
Very busy down here tonight. Lots of people on foot. Hopefully there's a lot of plans for taking Ubers and not driving.
306, I can check for pending.
216 go to back. 216 still. 911. Open line. First thing I argue is heard possibly a struggle for the phone. It's within 25 meters.
Can you generate me a assist citizen call at the LAC 425 Grove? Copy. 016.
I'm going to turn around here and pull to the curb with a view of Tom Reed's. Another great spot. Tom Reed, the longtime hockey player, owns the bar restaurant. Great food, great atmosphere as well. That's Tom Reed's on the left with the red neon sign. Condolences to the friends and family of Brian Leopold, who passed away on January 6th at the age of 47. Nicholas Pugia is greatly missing his friend and mentor. Oh, you are all in our prayers. All in our prayers. Nicole is going to be taking over in about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead. Well, no, make that about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do these shout-outs. We have two 86-year-old twins in California who are longtime backseaters. Verna Wilner of Valley Village, California, and her sister Velma Crowley of Clovis, California. Thank you for all your kind correspondences and just your kindness in general. Todd Fritz had his birthday January 5th. Warren G. in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada on January 6th. He's a special municipal Victoria Police Department. From Mark Philip Dukas. Happy birthday to Pam Manners. Well, no, I got to say that. Thank you for your service, Warren. Pam Manners, 67th birthday on January 12th.
681.
Love from Rich. Well, happy birthday, young lady. Hope you have a great one.
2320.
Gary McNamara turns 70 also on January 12th. He's going to be happy to celebrate his birthday with the backseaters. That's today. I've watched, this month has been going really fast. Well, happy birthday today, Pam and Gary. And one more, Barbara Thiesfeld of Roseville turned 66 today. From the Ramsey County Sheriff's LOP team, with love, we wish you a happy birthday. Well, it is very, very busy down here. There is a wild game tonight. In fact, a couple of my friends are at the wild game. That Dodge Charger right there is very clean and beautiful. But it's not going to be very clean for long hitting the streets here.
207, you copy?
And I do hope it's all-wheel drive.
Start medics here. Routine. I'll go check on it.
County 1214.
Well, we are going to go back on patrol here. I think we'll take a swing down by the Grand 7 Saloon.
Right.
Mancini's Char House here. One of the backseaters sent me a message asking for a recommendation on where to go for their anniversary. That wasn't too far from the XL Energy Center. And I said to give Mancini's a try. And they raved about it. They said that's going to be their anniversary spot from now on.
Cancel medics. And can you create a secondary crash? Henry Adam Robert 014. Leave it in pendant. I'll drive it. 2324.
263. You can show me en route to 262.
Copy.
Can you disregard?
Metro base, start a second call for that other vehicle.
They're on the way.
We are westbound on 7th Street at Randolph now. Garda's bar on the left. long-time St. Paul fixture. Darn near a landmark. There's another place we passed a ways back called Jill and Stan's, but it has a really nondescript front to it, and I often miss it. So I didn't think to mention it. Bennett's, great place. Just about anything you get to eat at Bennett's is fantastic. JR Max on the left. This is what's called the West End neighborhood of St. Paul, as opposed to the West Side, which is got some funny geography in St. Paul. The West Side of St. Paul is actually south of downtown.
Blueberry 7 Robert 12, your status?
The West End, however, is actually west of downtown, and they are two completely different areas.
Blueberry 7
482 Metro. 42. Can you update this crash? It's going to be northbound, ramp to 28. 2328.
Is Miller there yet?
Negative.
10-4.
Play around with my radio channels here a little bit. Rooster's Restaurant right here, across the street on the right. You'd be hard pressed to find better barbecue and better chicken. And then also up ahead here on the left is Skinner's. Pretty famous for their fried chicken and for their pizza. Great spot. I picked up a tickle in my throat like
121, 162.
Apparently the sheriff and undersheriff both have. I have some cough drops with me though.
When you flip, can you set up just after 280 before the curve? Copy that, sir.
Friend bruised and bleeding. Requesting officers go check on
Metro 70, speeding car. Check for a stall, north 494, Valley Hill.
280 deal.
2331.
We'll take a swing through the St. Paul tap up here. It's had several names over the years. They've got a good crowd too. Just about every bar I've been by has a good crowd tonight. Yes, it certainly does. Notice when it's this cold, you don't see as many people popping outside to have a cigarette.
Northbound in the curve in the left, please.
Roger that.
2332.
David Tom, X-ray 174, Spring Hill and Timber.
Spring Hill and Timber.
Cop, let us in, please. There's no answer.
Received.
We might be switching over to Sheriff Fletcher briefly before we go to Deputy Sparks.
Regarding 2333.
Bravo 318, I'm here. Good night.
Yeah, babe, good night. 2333.
Phone call for harassment.
Okay.
County 1351, your status?
Hurry, clear.
Copy.
Caller believes the male was trying to break
In
down the
general,
door.
this West End is
Either Jerome or
a
Jerome.
fairly quiet part of town.
And most likely Jerome, possibly a white or Hispanic male, 35'9", thin build.
Largely a blue-collar neighborhood. My kind of neighborhood.
2334.
Metro.
421.
Crash is clear. Can you advise DOT there's a lot of snow on the right-hand shoulder at Valley Creek and further to the end?
2334. Metro 297. GLT, we'll take that. You can continue. 2335.
316, advisor 324.
Cooper's Foods here on the left.
Copy.
Long-time neighborhood grocery store. Really, really good selection. Good people working in there. There used to be one down in Sibley Plaza, out right before 7th Street turns into Highway 5. But that one closed down, and now it's an Aldi.
A residential alarm covers front door.
218.
2335. About 324, I copy the noise complaint. East Clinton says 1370 Westminster, apartment 210. Neighbors are being loud.
With 306.
2335.
Just past Pajarito Restaurant on the left there. It's kind of an upscale Mexican restaurant.
Copy 2335.
I have not yet been there, but I hear much good about it. Well, folks, in about 2 minutes, you're going to be going to Sheriff Fletcher. Thanks for riding with me tonight.
7174.
Not sure if I'll be back on again later or not. Because you'll be going to Sheriff Fletcher and then to Deputy Nicole Sparks.
Chest pain, and she's having a panic attack.
And Deputy Sparks seems to quite widely be
Do you need any help there?
a favorite to many backseaters, with good reason.
Negative. They'll be on the road.
2337.
So next time I'm live, be it later tonight or next week, I'll see you then. Until then, just keep being kind, okay? But I will keep chattering a bit until the sheriff actually takes it over.
Probably 119, go ahead.
8119.
262 traffic.
Just
262. Bryce noise at a Lima November Charlie 991.
heavy race Wayzilla, 2338.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. It looks like some people are just leaving the bars and the restaurants after the Wild game tonight. There's another Wild game tomorrow.
About a block away from 260. You can just put me
Tomorrow
on.
night.
Kevin.
Sorry I haven't been with you more, but I really didn't want you to have to put up with my coughing. And that dry cough just drives you crazy, man. I'm sure a lot of you have it. I looked at the news tonight and it said it's respiratory. It's all over the country. Actually, Minnesota wasn't as bad as every place else. So looks like a lot of people had fun tonight. What time is it now? Just coming up on a little quarter to midnight. In a few minutes, we're going to take you to Nick at Night with Deputy Nicole Sparks. So I'd see what's going on down here at Cassetta's and Patrick McGovern's. Downtowner. Burger Moe's. Tom Reed's. Looks like a lot of people are still out enjoying themselves. So in case you missed it earlier tonight, we're talking Rev is going to have a glove collection tomorrow. Well, you can bring anything you have, but you really want some gloves. Going to be 10 below tomorrow night, 30 below wind chill, and the listing house closes at 8 o'clock, so we're going to try to collect stuff for people between 6 and 8 at our office, 425 Grove Street, and then hand it out as people are leaving. Now the shelters, the nighttime shelters open at 9 o'clock. So they'll help people get there as well. Not everybody wants to go to a shelter. It's 4 different shelters. I mean, it's not like the Hilton, but it's warm. Everybody appreciates warmth. Then in the morning at 7, they need to find their way out of there to some other warmth or Catholic Charities for breakfast at 9. But normally when the weather's been nicer, it hasn't been a problem. This is the first cold spell we've had. This is actually 25 degrees colder than average, according to Chris the weatherman. 25 degrees colder than average. So it's possible we might do a short live tomorrow night, 8-ish with the Rev as he's looking for homeless and delivering stuff. Wouldn't rule it out. Matter of fact, because it's so slow tonight, we're thinking of ending it a little early tonight, because there really have been very few calls. It's the cold weather, of course. It's still 12 degrees, but Gonna get cold tonight, and then tomorrow really, really cold. I think they said it's not gonna be warmer than this at all. A lot of Wild fans there. I'm not even sure how the Wild did it. I knew it was the middle of the game when we started. I don't know what the final score was. So I'm going to send you over to Nick at Night, Deputy Nicole Sparks, and then probably let Pat wrap up here in an hour or so we can get a little extra sleep tonight. All right, here you go, Nikki, if you're listening.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back. Hope everybody's staying warm inside. Definitely feels a lot colder since we've been so spoiled this year, but it is windy and chilly out. Seems like a lot of people are feeling sick. I just got over a little bit of a cold myself. I'm finally feeling a lot better. But make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. We're southbound on Arcade right now, coming up to Sims. We're just north of the M&H gas station. I just had myself a nice coffee break, so I'm ready to go find us something. St. Paul just did a great job. They apprehended a guy who was breaking into some vehicles down here off of Wells. Wells is kind of a little side street over here. I'm not sure if it's a business or if it's just kind of like a parking lot. I'm not familiar with the business name, but they did a great job with that. He fled on foot. He's got some warrants that he's going to have to be held accountable to as well. But that was some great work. I know it sucks chasing people in this cold weather with all the snow, but whoever the complainant was on that, thank you for calling it in. It probably wouldn't have been apprehended if you didn't do that in such a timely fashion.
Midnight DOT, split 35. Split 5 again. Split 533. 533 and 538. Have any other central spots for Midnight DOT? Midnight DOT. 375. 375. Copy. Anyone else?
I'm just gonna run these couple cars that are back here.
New message.
Copy. Anyone else?
New message.
This house is known to have some people that frequent it that are
Thank you all. Have a good night.
some troublemakers.
It's 182.
This is medics, 2680 Lexington, Unit 1, 80-year-old female, valid that's cut on her head.
I got to sit in on some of our correctional officers' interviews today. I have never actually been on the other side of an interview panel, so it was a great learning experience for me. got to do it with Daryl Gillette and Chinu Lee. Both of them are heavily involved with our youth outreach program. Two fantastic guys that have a lot of different experience and life experience than what I do. So it was really great to hear some of their opinions and perceptions on things that we were talking about or answers that someone had given. So I had a good time today doing that. I actually got to meet a backseater actually interviewed to be a correctional officer as well. So that was nice to see. I don't know if Live on Patrol had anything to do with swaying his opinion towards wanting to be a correctional officer or work at Ramsey County in that capacity or not, but that was great to see. He had a lot of good things to say about Sheriff Fletcher, the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office as a whole, and the work that our deputies and just kind of all of law enforcement has been doing. So that was refreshing. We've got another day of interviews coming up next Tuesday. So I'm interested to see who we have for that. A lot of very interesting people, a lot of different walks of life that came through the interview process, and a lot of different experiences that we definitely can use in our jails and at our sheriff's office. Well, the sheriff wasn't lying when he said it was pretty dead out here. It does seem that crime has been positively affected by some of the work that law enforcement has been doing. It seems like most of the crime is over in Hennepin County, and obviously I don't have the statistics to read those off, but it's just the way that it feels from working these nights when it's been slower and slower, which is a good thing, but it does make for a boring night sometimes. I was able to chat with a couple backseaters at the M&H a couple days ago.
Can you change this to
So it's great to see that. This car right here, suspect fled from law enforcement a little bit ago, a couple days ago actually. They didn't catch him. They found a phone in there, but I pulled the video surveillance from the actual auto theft, and I'll back up so you guys can see it, but if you look closely in the back, there is a red hard hat. The suspect in the motor vehicle theft actually wore that same, well, I can't say it's actually the same, but looks the same color, hard hat when he broke into the senior living home and stole this poor elderly lady's car. So I'm just gonna get out and take a picture of that so that Roseville can take a look at it and compare what they have.
Kellogg and Robert, Kilo Hotel Uniform 583. Yeah, Kellogg and Robert.
But he was kind enough to leave his phone in the car after he fled from law enforcement. So
Wrote the telephone.
Left us a nice little clue.
Could be other people.
Subject name Kong, Asian male, 35 years old, 5'10", wearing a blue sweatshirt. Tried to take a swing at one of the callers.
What in the garbage?
Thank you to all of our tow truck drivers, or not tow truck drivers, well, them as well, but I meant plows out there working hard, salting, getting the roads clear so everyone can try to drive safely. Special shout out to one of our dispatchers' mothers, Debbie. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for raising a child who wants to do that type of work. Our dispatchers are overworked, underpaid, and not appreciated enough.
Boulevard, Unit 363, Justice Medics with a 93-year-old female that fell getting on foot.
6 work together.
I will be watching the game on Sunday. I think it's pretty cool that the Packers are such a young team with a young quarterback being able to make it into the playoffs, so I'll definitely be watching.
215.
215.
Clear full for arm 218. And I'll take you to change. I can advise.
Copy, 20 Exchange Street, Central Tower, DLC for a woman in the lobby. Has nowhere to go. 2353.
I think it is caused start for St. Avenue and Lexington Parkway South. Transit with a fight at the bus stop. They don't have any officers available. One subject is an unknown race male wearing a red jacket and a white female wearing a red jacket. Both parties were lasting on foot southbound St. Clair in the last 10 minutes.
173, send it.
110, break, time close.
Oh, why that guy's mean mugging me so bad. He's the one going into a fenced-in area at midnight. I'll float back around, see if I can check that Chevy Cruze out. I didn't see any plates on it. But it looked like the radio was on, so I didn't want to walk up to someone who was in there before I knew. Those windows are so dark. So we do have all of our Ramsey County channels on, all of St. Paul channels, all the suburbs. And it is kind of just that slow of a night.
Try copy you to the alarm at 1500 Express Bus Road. Audible coloring the tractor and trailer photo beams today. Respond to back. Copy.
Copy code for 2356.
One ten. I saw the 121 around the scene. If the other squads want to clear, the 10-minute time delay. 173, 120, take clear.
7-3, thank you.
2357.
I had another agency reach out to me today regarding some high-end vehicles that they believe are being stolen and then revinned and sold kind of throughout St. Paul. So I do encourage you guys to
What were you doing?
New message.
do a little bit of
New message.
homework on your
New
vehicles.
message.
If you guys are going to be buying high-end vehicles from people over the internet, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I would just do just a little bit of extra homework, because these vehicles sometimes are hard to tell if they're revinned or if you're actually getting a stolen body on your vehicle.
New
But
message.
they're just, you can take it to a mechanic, have them check a couple areas on the vehicle, make sure that you're getting your seller's like full information in case something does happen, that you have someone to track it back to. This poor guy was out $32,000 in cash, and I just would hate for more people to have to go through that. That's a lot of hard-earned money that's kind of going away that you have to try to get back. I came down this street in the summer one night, and I was baffled by how many people were out. Just on Birmingham, just from 7th up to Case, it's a pretty short street. There was probably 10 different cars out, and people outside, and it was the busiest street you could think of for only like a 2-block radius. It was just kind of crazy.
Could be a midnight.
New message. New message. New message.
That's a
1856 right to Creek Road to assist with the 42-year-old male.
that's a happy.
10 minutes.
I like to run all of my plates or vehicles, for the most part, through our in-house system, see what we have for contacts with them, as well as running them through our
New message.
our national database that gives us registration info. Sometimes I can tell a little bit more. A couple weeks ago, we were following around a stolen vehicle that was linked back to that burglary that happened at the Towsley Motorsports in Vadnais Heights. One of the suspects was there. We had an idea of who he was, and he is well known to a group of us. I first dealt with him in Maplewood. It's kind of a funny story. I don't remember exactly if I had watched him or if staff had told us it was him, but we found a stolen motorcycle at the Emerald Inn. And when staff was telling us about him, he had actually come back out to the window, and staff was like, oh, that's him. He started acting kind of weird, and he took off running. I don't know if you guys are familiar exactly where the Emerald Inn is in Maplewood, but it's by White Bear and D. David, kind of by 694. This guy, for being a narcotics user who probably does not work out, is hands down one of the fastest people who I've come in contact with who has the ability to run so far without getting winded. I chased him north through the parking lot. We hopped 2 fences to get over up to 694. I don't know if that guy was recording me or recording something else, but we hopped 2 fences to get up to 694. We went up the hill at 694, and that's where I was pretty much gassed. He was still running, turning around looking at me, went over 2 guardrails, and then he went to the off-ramp of 694. He climbed over 1 more fence. I hopped in one of my partner's cars. And then he kept going northbound to Docks Landing. So I figured at this point we were probably SOL and he was probably gone. But he then decided to jump into the lake at Docks Landing, and I don't know why, because if he would have just kept running, none of us would have caught him. But he actually jumped into the water at Docks Landing, so we had the water in the lake kind of surrounded by everybody. And then he made 1 more jump for it, and he got out of the water and he tried to climb up a tree, which is one of the funniest things still to this day, because I've arrested him since then, I've chatted with him since then, and we still laugh about him wading water at Docks Landing. He actually still talks about it to other people too, which is kind of funny. But he was the same guy who ran from us the other day, and as soon as he hit a dead end, he hopped out of the driver's seat and kept running, and I knew there was no way we were going to catch him. I am serious. This guy is so fast for someone who doesn't work out, who uses drugs. It's insane. He's just one of those people who doesn't really need to take care of his body that well and is still in just kind of a athletic specimen with that. I'm gonna roll down and check the Motel 6 off of Old Hudson. Try to go through there a couple times a night. We made some ribs today in the oven because it was too cold to go outside, and they turned out fantastic. I am always looking for new foods to try, especially barbecue. So if you guys have any super great suggestions for places around the metro, preferably more in Ramsey County than Hennepin, but I am open to any suggestions that you guys have. I do enjoy trying new foods, but it's got to be good. I don't want to be wasting my time and money on food that's not going to be good. So only good recommendations, please.
New message. New message. New message.
There was a carjacking that came out earlier. It was kind of weird.
New message.
The suspect was calling from, the comp was calling from a different address, said that it had happened a while before, and then gave the suspect of who it was.
New message.
So kind of a weird situation with that. I don't know if they ever actually came out with the plate, but it is a 2003 blue Ford Explorer. If you guys see it while I'm driving and I miss it.
Female caller is shouting, he's hitting, help me, and then hung up.
How's it going?
Hey, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you running plates back there? By
Yeah.
chance? Is that Infinity stolen? It's been there for a couple weeks.
The one that's parked facing northbound?
Yeah, the one that's completely cut. That shit hasn't moved in weeks.
I ran it a while ago. I did not run the one back. I didn't run it today. I'll go back and I'll run it and make sure, though.
If you could, just
Yeah.
because it's just been there for weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give me a minute. I'll go check on it. The Motel 6 got security, armed security a little while back. I don't know if they're here all the time. I think it's great, though. They definitely are a deterrence. I don't really know if that's a job that I would want, but all of the power to that guy, because it's definitely a needed job. This is one that he's talking about. This has been here for a while. I have run it before. I did not run it today, though.
New message. New message.
Abby, I would be for reservation to
New message.
So it's coming back clear. It looks like everything registers, but I am just going to check the VIN just since it's been here for a while.
4446, call 401 in custody.
441 in custody, yes, I'm in.
Yeah, everything matches, and he's not wrong. It's been here for a while. The parking pass on there is from 11/11.
Garage in the vehicle, but he has the caller's key, so the caller can't get inside the house.
So it comes back clear. It comes back to a cleaning service for whatever reason out of Mounds View. But the parking pass from you guys on there is from 11/11. So it's definitely been there for a while.
Yeah, and we put some warnings on it, so we'll probably just get it out of here.
Yeah.
Question. Are you guys hiring right now?
For like law enforcement or for corrections?
For law enforcement. I did my time in corrections.
I think we're always hiring.
Okay.
Have you gone to school at all?
Yeah, so I'm in my last semester of school, and then I got to go to skills, but I have 6 years active duty MP.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So I'll be doing skills in the fall.
Yeah, I don't know if we're like openly hiring right now. I know most of the time
we're. Do you guys have CSOs or?
Yeah. We do. We have CSOs. We have COs. We have reserves.
I used to work for Hennepin County, and I worked as a detention deputy. It was fun. It's just it's not my deal.
Yeah, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's not for me either.
You know, because even like working MPs, like I was always on patrol. Like we never worked jail or anything. So
sat in a pod and I'll give you my business card.
Absolutely, thank you.
Just shoot me a text. And I'll follow up and see if we actually are.
Especially
and then,
if you guys have CSOs, I'd be happy to jump on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that.
I live right there in Woodbury off of 94. So super convenient.
Yeah, the mobile number on there is my cell phone. Just shoot me a text with your name, and then I'll follow up with it and see what happened there.
You guys have an automotive crime unit? Oh yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
You're live on patrol right now too.
Really? Oh yeah, because you guys do that. You guys do that thing with Sheriff Ramsey or Sheriff Fletcher, right?
Yep.
Heck yeah, that's cool. So you guys are live. So you guys all live stream on your night patrols?
Not all the time. Friday nights is kind of our big night. So we're live right now until I don't know 2-3ish, right around there. So.
Yeah, you guys have a really nice setup. You got the radar runners and the grill and. I wish we had stuff this nice when I was an MP. All of our
we are very lucky.
All of our equipment was, if it worked half the time.
Right. That's the government for you. Yeah. Yeah, shoot me a text and I'll get back to you.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Be safe.
You too. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but he did ask to see if we were hiring or what kind of stuff we offered for him. He said he did 6 years active duty in the military, did a little bit of detention, decided that wasn't for him, which I applaud him for trying and figuring out what is for him and what's not. Because there is a difference between COs and law enforcement, and it takes a different type of person to do both of them. So you got to kind of figure out what's for you. COs are definitely a good stepping stone for law enforcement, to be like a licensed peace officer. So it's good that he figured that out. So hopefully he reaches out to me. We're always looking for good candidates. I don't know if our process is open this minute or anything, but hopefully we can point them in the right direction. And we want people who want to work. We want people who have good morals and ethics and a hard work ethic. That's one of my big things, is you gotta want to work. So we'll see if that pans out, if he texts me or not. Lots of people say they will and then don't, but it really doesn't hurt to pass out your card. The more the merrier. I pass it out like it's candy most of the time. Sounds like at 12:30 you're gonna go back to the Pat Man.
We're still a ways out if you want to wait outside.
don't know if this is all we're supposed to get for snow or what, but when I was leaving for work today, my poor little chickens were out in their run watching me leave, and I'm sure that their little tootsies were cold. Our hens have been, seems like they've been working on overdrive. They've been producing so many eggs. We switched their lighting this year. We did put lighting in their hen houses last year, and they didn't really seem to like that type of lighting, so we didn't get really any eggs over the winter, but we changed their light this year, and although it hasn't been very cold, so I don't have a full comparison yet, but they have been producing eggs like crazy. So I hope that that continues throughout the winter, because there is nothing better than fresh eggs. Well, there's a couple things, but fresh eggs are definitely great.
Pretty sure I want adult male to help with joint mileage.
So the little noise that you just heard was my LPR is going off on a potential stolen vehicle. One of the, I wouldn't necessarily call it a flaw, it's just kind of a caveat. The LPRs will pick up on stolen vehicles with any plate. So say Adam Boy Charlie 123 is listed as stolen out of Iowa, and there's an Adam Boy Charlie 123 for a Minnesota plate, it'll show that as a stolen vehicle. So you got to kind of pay attention to the hit and make sure that you're looking at what state it is. And then I always rerun the license plate to make sure that there wasn't a clerical error, the computer made an error, the cameras didn't pick up exactly what the plate was, or anything along those lines. But I always try to double check.
I can take your alarm.
There's a the back, 1810 Suburban, and the alarm is audible and covers main entry right.
Great tools, just definitely things to work around and to double check.
Yep. So at 279, check your stats.
27 now, call for both parties.
Okay, look for both parties.
It seems like I'm seeing more cameras being installed around garages or houses, which is fantastic.
You can clear advise. When you start me an assist using 900 Fairview, we bring in one male to unit gun.
Yeah, 21.
If you haven't gotten cameras for your
message.
house,
New message.
please think about getting them.
New message. New message.
Fifty 183, code 4, clear assist.
New message. New message. New message.
like to drive through the alleyways. Seems like more foot traffic or people trying to hide stuff. We found a stolen over here along one of the side of these garages a couple weeks back. Comes from people not always thinking that we're gonna drive through them. The guy on that big truck, I stopped him a couple weeks back. He notorious for committing burglaries, so maybe pay attention to him when he leaves and see where he's going.
Just filling that where you at. I'm in an alley behind the address. I'm out with Lucas here. Steve went back inside the house. So, I mean, y'all can still roll up if y'all want to, but we're both separated now. Copy. I'm on feet, so don't flip back.
I got new tires on my Squad, and actually they've been doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with them, especially good to test them out with this first kind of really more prominent snowfall where there's actually snow on the ground.
And 110, I copy 1316 Crossman Drive on a dangerous condition. Caller sitting in the parking lot there doing donuts and seating. He's in a white vehicle in the parking lot.
What copy? Everything. 1-6, staying drop. Yep.
Our deputies had a pursuit a couple nights ago. Came in from Anoka County. Came in off of Highway 10. I think Mounds View spotted it first. And then when our deputies got involved, pursuit ended up going back west towards Brooklyn Park. Exited off of either Zane or Brooklyn Park Boulevard. I can't remember which one, but pursuit was ended with a pit maneuver. And the driver had thrown out a pretty large bag of methamphetamine. And 2 people were taken into custody from that. Turned over to Blaine. Blaine was the initial agency who started the pursuit, so they ended up taking custody of both parties.
Caller's father threatened him and kicked him out of the house. He's requesting police because he states he's not in any position to take care of himself.
But it was a great job by our deputies. Great job by the acting sergeant out there is Rob Kane. He's a lateral from Robbinsdale.
He's going to be at the intersection of Grotto and St. Anthony on foot, wearing a black backpack, hat, and green jacket.
He's doing a great job. He likes to work hard, has a ton of experience to bring to the table, so is a really good role model and influence for some of the other deputies that are out there. A good source of knowledge, too. It's nice to have good people in those leadership roles.
Step 282, code 4.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but in Minnesota it is illegal to drive with your tailgate down if you have a pickup truck. I didn't know that until probably 2 years ago. Not a super common thing that you see, but I just was looking at that guy's tailgate being down. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple months back, I think it was October, mid-October, Sergeant Suki overheard shots being fired by Larpenter 35, pursued that vehicle, found 3 pounds of methamphetamine in the car along with a ghost gun. We got the results back after testing the cartridges with the firearm. They're called Nivens hits or Nivens hits. They matched the ones that were found on scene from the shots fired. But we also took DNA from the suspect to compare to the firearm and everything on scene with that. We got the DNA back the other day, and he actually is tied to at least 5 other DNA collections around the metro area. I haven't had a chance to pull all of the reports yet. One of them was a stolen vehicle, though. So I'm interested to see what else this guy was linked to. But again, it's a great job by, that was a fantastic job by Sergeant Suki. Be able to hear that, find the vehicle at the same time, and to do perform a pit maneuver on him, take him into custody. And that was an absolutely huge arrest. But I think Pat is going to end up taking over here shortly. So it was great riding with you guys. I'm sorry it's so dead right now. Kind of sorry. I obviously don't want crime to be up, but I do wish there was a little bit something else going on that we could get into.
229 and 226, go to the DLC. It says 141 Robert Street North. For 3 people in the stairwell that don't live there. 30 minutes.
But I hope you guys have a good President's Day. Hope you guys are able to watch the Packer game.
Affirmative.
Go Pack Go.
Can I get my case number? Yeah, your case number is 006 988 006 988. Thank you. Ready. One ten. 121, clear. 121, you can stay clear.
Copy. No video received.
Good one.
Squad 229. The caller and security there, they had given the address of 141 Robert, but it's the Pioneer in the cop building. Looks like the address is probably wrong. I think it's going to be 336 Robert.
Copy.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
I'm surprised. Normally, Bush over here is has a stolen parked somewhere along some of these streets between 7th and Johnson Parkway. I'm surprised we haven't seen any.
Any Spanish speakers in Central Lake Assistant East?
Spanish speaking officers, Lake Assistant 316.
But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Hope you guys have a good, safe, warm weekend.
Affirmative. 316 is looking for.
And enjoy your long 3-day weekend.
Show you around. Working to Ramsey. Pretty sure magic. 166. You can stay clear. They found someone.
Well, welcome back, folks. Just going to be a couple more minutes here before we wrap up. We kind of are unanimous in the thought that we have had a very long, very busy week. And we're all kind of tired. And a couple of us aren't feeling all that great. So we are going to be wrapping it up here in just a minute. Quick swing here through the M&H, and got a, like Nicole was saying, we got a 3-day weekend coming up, and it's going to be nice to get a little bit of a head start on it and get to bed a little bit earlier tonight than usual. So I think I'll wrap it up right now, folks. Thank you for riding with us. We'll see you next time we go live. Don't forget the glove drive tomorrow at the Law Enforcement Center. It's going to be really cold, and these unsheltered folks are going to have a tough time with this cold. All right, folks, be kind. Enjoy your 3-day weekend for those of you who get one. And we'll see you next time we're live. Have a good night.
371, can you show me out on traffic at Upper Afton and McKnight? I'll get you a plate in a minute. Upper Afton and McKnight.